Hello, I'm KHOU Meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking some heavy rain across Houston and more of a severe thunderstorm warning that's definitely to the south of town. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Brazoria, Galveston, and Harris counties. We are seeing some gusts up to around 60 miles an hour, as well as some possible hail with this storm. So as we look at that hail tracker, we are seeing some hail just south of Manville, moving off towards Alvin. We are going to see those conditions once again continue to be more to the south of town going into the next few minutes. So as we look at the current situation, we have lots of lightning ongoing across Alvin, and that is heading towards Leak City. It looks like the National Weather Service has just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning that does include portions of Galveston County. So if you are in Galveston, Leak City, you are seeing this heavy rain coming your way. This is what's happening right now. We have this heavy rain and lightning that is currently moving over Alvin. And if you are along maybe 45 heading towards Galveston, just keep in mind that this is going to continue heading towards the west at around maybe I think it was a 25 to 30 miles an hour going closer towards the Galveston Bay area. There is a potential for some hail. We did see some reports of hail with this storm, as well as some of these gusty winds south of Houston. So most of Houston right now looking at some moderate to heavy rain. We are under that weather impact alert that's going to be in place for much of the day. So right now, like I said, the lightning tracker, the number of strikes, we're at 437. Now it just jumped up to 441. Negative strikes at 226. So as we look at that cluster of the storm, the heaviest rain happening south of Houston. But if you are along 45, maybe heading towards Leak City, just keep in mind that this is actually heading towards that location, closer towards the coast as we go into the next maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So as we look at that weather impact alert, KHOU 11 weather team issuing that weather impact alert from now through at least 2 p.m. The impact does include storms, wind, and hail, so you might want to just secure outdoor furniture, maybe just stay indoors and not be on those roadways. Of course, I just came in not too long ago. There is several accidents ongoing across the area highway, so slick roads definitely the case across the area going into the next few maybe hour or two as this severe storm south of Houston moves off towards the east. So severe threat, the Storm Prediction Center, including areas under a marginal risk, that's a 1 out of 5, but we are seeing mostly that heavier storm activity south of Houston. Future track is keeping more of the stronger storms south of Houston as of now. However, as we get closer towards around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we do have the potential for some of these storms to flare up north of downtown Houston. So we're not out of the woods yet for much of the day. This is all associated with a cold front that's slowly moving southward, closer towards the coast as it's making its way towards the Houston area. We're not really expecting to see that rain let up at least until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and that's when most of the activity is going to be well off towards the east. There is still a possibility we could still see some lingering flare-ups closer towards 9:30, maybe even to Saturday morning, but that severe threat is going to be in place as of now. So definitely expecting more so of this active weather pattern to take place at least for the next 2 hours. So just kind of going to recap of what we're seeing right now. We are tracking a severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in place for portions of Brazoria, Galveston, and Harris counties. This is expecting to be at least until 11:30 this morning. That's in about 30 minutes. So as we look at the current situation, we're seeing lots of lightning, and this is heading towards 45. So if you are going towards 45, that is expecting to make its way across the major corridor that connects Galveston and Houston. So Leak City, maybe Dickinson, portions of Galveston under that severe thunderstorm warning at least until 11:30 this morning. And we do see the possibility of some hail with this storm. So we're going to go ahead and look at the velocity. This is tracking some potential rotation if that is happening. We're not seeing much of that as of now, but we are expecting to see, we're actually seeing these winds starting to weaken just a bit, but we still have some dangerous lightning with this storm as it's continuing moving closer towards 45. And so Texas City, Dickinson, League City, Alvin right now seeing more of the heavier rain and lightning, and we are seeing some close to, let's look at the wind tracker to see what our wind speeds are looking at. We're looking at 40 mile an hour wind gusts with this storm currently, but this storm does have the possibility to still have that energy to give us about 60 miles an hour winds as this storm continues tracking across the area. So lots of lightning with this storm as of now south of Houston. We're seeing some widespread rain showers across the Houston area this morning, and we are going to continue to see that at least until the next maybe couple of hours. So be extra cautious on those roadways if you do have to travel right now. So looking closer towards Houston, we're just seeing these moderate showers. There is a couple of lightning strikes, moderate to heavy rainfall occurring from Houston along the I-10 corridor. Most of our major highways are quite wet right now, but more of the stronger storms that we're looking at is the south of the Houston area, going towards Galveston, maybe even League City. So if you're looking at that situation in terms of how long this is going to be lasting, at least for the next 2 to 3 hours. But the National Weather Service issuing that severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for 11:30 this morning, and we're seeing quite a bit of lightning with this storm, and they're giving this a tornado possible tag. At the last check, it looks more so like that tornado threat not really much for now, but we are expecting that dangerous lightning and possible hail with this storm as it continues its track closer to the I-45 corridor. And so Texas City, Galveston, even League City expecting to get the bullseye of this strong storm south of Houston. And we are starting to see some of this moderate to heavy rainfall becoming a little bit more heavy in the Houston area, but right now the stronger storm is south along 45, closer heading towards Galveston Bay with tons of lightning with it currently. So expecting that to continue at least for the next couple of minutes, but looking at that current hail size, we did see some reports of close to maybe an inch diameter hail as we look at the last 30 minutes, but right now most of the hail, just keep in mind that this hail scan comes in about 15 minutes later than when it actually, so this is about 15 minutes ago, and that's where we are seeing that hail with this storm as it's continuing moving off towards the east, towards Galveston Bay, with lots of lightning involved. And so we're going to go ahead and look at the current situation in terms of what's going on our area roadways. We're going to go ahead and send it off to Stephen Goins. Stephen, what are you seeing out there?
Hey Chris, yeah, we're in the weather tracker equipped with multiple different views, so I want to take you straight out to our camera that's pointed at the roadway so you can see the conditions that we're seeing right in front of us. I'll also kind of walk through what we've seen in the past hour since we've been driving. Right now we're on US 59. We just drove through Sugarland. We're south of Houston. You would have seen that Sugarland water tower just a few minutes ago, but now we are near Richmond. I think we actually just hit Richmond. I can tell you the rain was a little bit heavier when we started driving, but it's been picking up a little bit. We've also seen some lightning in the sky. So if we see more of that in the next few minutes, I'll try to point it out because we've definitely seen quite a few lightning strikes over the past hour. We're still getting a few drops of rain, as you can see. So we have the windshield wipers going. Skies above us still pretty dark as well. They've been getting dark, lightening up and getting dark. So conditions, we know that they could change. We may be, like I said, seeing some lightning again, so we will try to point that out. I think I might have just saw something, but we'll try to point that out if we see it. Now to the road conditions. Of course, as you mentioned, there is water on the roadway. Of course, there are some slick spots, but so far we haven't passed any cars that are stalled on the road. We haven't seen any accidents either. And while they are these slick spots, we've not seen any flooding or areas with a lot of standing water on the highway. So that's good news. Right now you can take a look and see that our visibility is okay, but it's not the best. Of course, that is due in part to the rain, but also because these vehicles in front of us, they start kicking up some of that water behind them and kind of putting some mist into the air. We've all driven in the rain before, so when that water is kicked up, it can be kind of difficult to really see what is in front of you. We're not seeing too much traffic, but it is midday, so we weren't expecting to see much. But this could be an indication that people are just choosing to stay off the road right now, which is never a bad idea when it rains. Now, as we said, we just hit Richmond. We're going to continue to drive through here. but we're going to keep an eye on the weather conditions on the road on 59 south of Houston, and we can bring you an update if you need it. Chris, back to you.
Yes, Stephen, thanks. Of course, you're seeing those wet roadways, and that's not just in the Richmond area where Stephen is at. You're seeing the rain and the wet roadways all across Southeast Texas, even the Gulf Freeway. Looking at the Galleria, we saw hearing some claps of thunder just outside of our studios. But looking at where the heaviest rain is happening right now, we're focused on what's going on just south of Houston with this severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in effect until 11:30. And there's a lot of lightning with this storm. There is a possibility of some 60-mile-an-hour gusts. At last check, looks like wind gusts were gusting up to 35 to 60, but as that storm continues tracking off towards the east, that is going to continue running probably some more energy, so we still could see those 60-mile-an-hour gusts going into the next maybe hour or two, and we do have the possibility with some confirmed reports of some hail with this storm. I know they've dealt with these hail storms out in central Texas, but just keep in mind that there is a threat when it comes to any type of storm that has hail associated with it. We're also dealing with lots of lightning with this storm, and if you are traveling along I-45 towards Galveston, maybe heading from Houston to Galveston or vice versa from Galveston to Houston, just keep in mind that this storm is actually headed towards the I-45 corridor, so roads are going to start to become pretty hazardous along I-45 south of Houston within the next maybe 30 to 40 minutes, probably in the next maybe 20 to 25 minutes. Looking at that last hail check, we saw most of that hail over Alvin currently. This was about 15 minutes ago, but just keep in mind that as we look at the loop of this storm system, this is all associated with a cold front that's currently moving into southeast Texas. That is going to continue tracking off towards the south as that front. It's going to sort of linger. That front's going to linger across our area, and it's going to keep that storm chance in the picture at least for much of the afternoon. So even though that we're seeing most of the heavier storms south of Houston as of now, we want to keep our guard up, and that's the reason why we're issuing that weather impact alert at least until 2 o'clock this afternoon, because Future Track is showing that we could see some more of these flare-ups of storms going closer towards maybe the noon hour, maybe closer towards 1 to 2 o'clock. The good news about all of this is that if you are having to go to work today, these storms are going to start diminishing as we get closer towards 4 o'clock. So isolated storms possible. We're seeing some widespread rain right now from Houston to Galveston, more of the heavier storm activity happening in and around just between Houston and Galveston, which is heading towards the 45 corridor. But we're going to be under the gun for some more of these flare-ups, at least for the next 2 to 3 hours going into this afternoon. And then we could still see some lingering showers through tomorrow morning. But as we look at that weather impact alert, we're issuing that from now until 2 p.m. The impact does include storms, winds, and hail, which we're already seeing with these storms. So you're going to have to definitely secure outdoor furniture, maybe just stay indoors and not be on the roadways. Roadways are slick currently at the moment, and this does include all of our major highways. So even though the rain is not as heavy in the Houston area, and we're seeing more of the stronger storm activity south, we're seeing slick roadways all across southeast Texas. So as far as our 7-day forecast, in terms of what we're expecting, the good news is that this cold front that's bringing this storm activity is going to bring us some slightly cooler conditions through this Saturday, but going into Sunday, we could still see some of these isolated showers going through the start of next week. So highs are going to be in the 90s, lows in the 70s. We have a stormy day ahead of us, at least for the next few hours. And so we're just keeping up the latest, and we're giving you the latest updates on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. And make sure to tune into our KHOU 11 news at 12 o'clock so you can get the latest updates of what we're currently seeing.